Well, at least I still managed to do these, right? Cheers. Welcome back, everybody, to me doing the weekly navel-gazing, the one video I still managed to put out in time, which is something, I guess. Anyway, we're here to talk about all the books I didn't read last week, and all the books I plan to read this week, and all the videos I didn't do last week, and the other stuff. And then I descend into mad rambling forever and ever and ever, and you will never get rid of me. Or something of the sorts. So, let's do that, shall we? I did, in fact, read books. Well, I did finish the one book that I started, which was Too Like the Lightning by Ada Palmer, and then I started Seven Surrenders by Ada Palmer, and I'm something like halfway through that one right now, so I suspect I'll be done with it tomorrow or possibly on Wednesday, and then I assume I'll start the next one, which I think is called The Will to Battle? Probably. I'm really not good with this. So yeah, I'm reading Terra Ignota. I'm really enjoying it. It's probably the one book that was written for me. No, it's really fun, and I'll read the whole thing, and then I'll figure out what kind of videos I may or may not make about it, and then we'll see. So that's the reading plans. I don't have any more reading plans because this week will be difficult to get any reading done beyond, the bare minimum, because I'll be traveling. Which brings us to videos. I didn't do any. I couldn't. I tried. Don't get me wrong. I tried again, and it's still not there. I don't know why. I'm just really exhausted at the moment, and I just couldn't get anything properly recorded or anything. Then over the weekend, I also went to a heavy metal festival, which kind of, takes time out, so I didn't record anything. However, because the week before I was a guest on Britain's The State of Science Fiction on some Okie Dude's channel, which came out, well, last week, there was at least some way of watching me ramble about something during the week. And if you haven't seen it yet, I put it, on the community tab. It's out there. You can watch it if you feel like it. I had fun, as always. Go subscribe to Britain's channel. He's a cool guy. I had fun. It's definitely worth watching, I suspect. And that brings me to videos for this week. And I don't know if I'll make any. Okay, let's start. I will fly to Athens for the Up the Hammers festival on Wednesday, and I will come back on Sunday afternoon. Which means anything that will come out this week has to be filmed tonight or tomorrow. And I'll be going to the theatre to watch Dune tonight, so the second part of Dune tonight, so yeah, I won't record anything tonight, will I? So that leaves me tomorrow, and the question is, do I have time and energy to record a video tomorrow? And if so, which one would it be? And that's sort of what I'll try to figure out. I want to record a video, because I feel shitty for not posting videos, and we'll see if I can come up with something. But I can't promise anything right now, which, sucks. But at least, I'll hopefully be able to do more stuff once we're back on, next Monday, and, next Tuesday or whatever. Maybe next week I'll be more productive. And that's kind of where I want to sort of go from here, right? Is to talk a bit about the feeling of not recording. It's like I haven't recorded a video in 2 weeks. I mean, I've recorded 2 videos that I want to improve on, one of them being on An Ascension by Martin McGuinness, and one of them being about stuff. More like a generic thing, a bit of a reply to Bookborn's question of whether sci-fi authors think we're stupid now. But with those, I kind of, I want to get it right. And I've always, I try to do my best to make these videos interesting. I've recently seen Steve Donahue reply to Lyra of a Viking, and he talks about like how easy it is to make booktube videos, and anyone complaining about it, is just lazy, stupid, or something else, and not getting it. And while I may be going to do a full video on that, I just want to point out that no, it's not that easy if you want to do it right. And that's sort of the thing, right? It's like I have an opinion on a very specific discourse on, subtlety in science fiction that I think is important to talk about. But because, other booktubers have talked about it before, and, I just don't want to, just ramble on, because that's something I can do. But when it comes to, arguments, I always feel that structure does kind of help. And yeah, so that's something I want to get right. And we've spoken about this before. Is like, I need to bring a certain level of energy to these videos, because they are a form of performance, right? So if I don't have that energy, and it just drags, and I start stumbling over my words, and yes, I could possibly, maybe fix it in editing. Me stumbling over words, having awkward pauses, going a lot, and like I could possibly fix that in editing, but because I can't do proper editing easily, I have to do it. Currently, I'm doing it in like FFmpeg, which is a command line tool. So I need to have like every microsecond that I want to cut out, I have to do an individual cut and shit like that. And it's impractical. That's my point. So I'm usually trying to get that, well, not perfect shot, but like the recording that needs no or very little editing. So I'll just re-record again and again until I feel halfway comfortable with it. And yeah, that sometimes just doesn't work, because if I'm already, low energy for all kinds of reasons, and the last 2 weeks have certainly been times of very little energy for a lot of reasons that are kind of hard to explain, and sometimes not even hard to explain. It's like, it just happens, right? It's like, it's the end of winter, beginning of spring, but spring's not fully here. It's grayness out there, very little light, and it just drags you down from time to time. It's like, okay, but if I'm sitting here and I'm tired all day long, and I'm I have a slight headache and everything, so I can't do a cool performance for you. Once again, I'm always uncomfortable using terms like performance here, but at the end of the day, that is what it is, right? It's like, while I hopefully come across as a natural person and authentic and all of that stuff, it is still a performance in front of a camera. In a way, we obviously always perform for each other when we meet in social media, on social media, or in just like the wild world out there. But especially with the recording, because it, flattens a lot of emotions. Right? I have to be larger than life. I have to yell more. I have to speak faster. I have to gesture more than I would normally do, because watching it on a screen, possibly even only on a phone, possibly maybe just listening to it, will sort of take a level of energy out of it that is there if you're, well, sitting in my room under my bed with me. There would be a difference in energy levels. And I think that's one of those things like, anyone who's ever tried to do like amateur theater or improv, or possibly even played Dungeons and Dragons or anything of the sort, like, you kind of know that you think you're overacting whereas everyone else in the room thinks that we're incredibly calm today, a bit low energy. So there is that weird disconnect in self-perception versus, external perception, I guess. And I think it's even harder when it is mediated through a screen, because, the size of the screen does have an impact on that kind of stuff, and all of these things. So there is that constant thing where I feel that I am low energy, which must make it incredibly painful for you to watch me, because I'll probably look and talk like a fucking corpse at that point. So there is that, and for whatever reason, the last couple of weeks, life's not easy for me always, and there's a lot of stuff that just like happened, and I had to figure out some stuff with my healthcare, and I had to figure out some stuff with my unemployment money that I'm currently getting, because I'm obviously a terrible person. There's other stuff I need to do if I ever want to get the record label stuff back on track. There's a lot of shit going on, is my point, and it takes energy. And it takes brain power, and my impulse is to just curl up and not talk to anyone. But since I've been doing that for like 2 years, I feel like maybe I should try to change things, because while it is in theory possible for me to to get unemployment money and make YouTube videos for the rest of my life, I'm not sure if that's going to be satisfying for anyone, neither me nor anyone else. And it's one of those things I need to figure out in the near-ish future, where I want to go with all of this, and what I'm able to do and what I'm not able to do. And that's kind of the issue. And I finally had a doctor's appointment again, and finally, after like talking to doctors for like half a year over half a year again now, they finally gave me a prescription for ADHD medication, which hopefully will help me focus on stuff more, because I have severe ADHD with a doctor's diagnosis and everything. I'm not self-diagnosing here. But it took a while because the former medication didn't work, so it needed new medication. I finally got got the prescription. I walked into the pharmacy this morning, and what they told me was, this medication is currently unavailable, so you need to actually get a new prescription for a different medication, because these are, obviously, the ADHD medication stuff is considered drugs in Germany, so it falls under stricter laws. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. But you see what I mean? It was like, there was something I was pinning some hope on, and like suddenly something ridiculous just happens, and you basically start back again. Need to go out of the house, need to move over to the doctor's office, talk to the doctor, get the new prescription, go to the pharmacy, tell them that you need the new one. They'll hopefully tell you next time, well, it'll be here tomorrow, then you need to pick it up tomorrow. It's a problem, is my point. And I'll try my best to get through all of this, but it's certainly something that has kept me from recording videos. And that's kind of the problem that I'm facing right now. Is something I'm really thinking about. Is like, I have a Patreon out there. Some of you may not be aware of that, because it's hidden down there in the video description, and I rarely talk about it because I'm somewhat ashamed of having it, and I feel bad for not delivering more, and it's a whole awkward thing. But I have a Patreon, and sometimes some of you are incredibly kind and send me money through PayPal for beers, and I absolutely appreciate that. But like, every time that happens, I'm like, and I haven't done like a video in like 2 weeks. I'm failing people out here. There is some form of like reciprocity that I think is part of the deal that we're having here in some form or other. I don't have a Discord server on my own. I hang out in other Discord servers, so it's always a bit weird to define what my community would be, if there is one. But of course, I feel some form of responsibility for those of you who have stuck with me for the last years and do comment and talk with me. And I feel for you. And if I can't deliver anything, I feel bad. And then that pressure builds up. And then like every time, like my expectations for the next video are rising, like my expectations to myself. I'm like, I better get it right. And then I crumple under that pressure, and then I don't do anything. It's a whole thing. I'm definitely not the only one who feels it, but it's certainly something that has happened over the last couple of weeks and has kind of slowed me down. I feel like I probably go through one of these phases once per year. Last year was much closer to like the beginning of the year, but this time around, I guess it took until the end of February to fully kick in, because maybe, I went through Christmas, and that kind of gave me a structure of shit to do. So there's that. I don't know. Hopefully, once I'm back from Athens, things will look different. We'll find out. I certainly hope so. Should you, however, be at the Up the Hammers Festival in Athens for the next couple of days, we can totally have a beer and have a conversation about fantasy books or whatever at a heavy metal festival. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been a fucking weird time of late, and I'm still not fully back where I want to be. Well, not even back where I thought I was like a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, it's a mess, is my point. I'm trying. I'm really enjoying the Terra Ignota books, and I'm pretty sure I'll read something fun after that. And then we'll finally tackle the Mormons, Brandon Sanderson, and all the stuff that I want to tackle this year. I really want to start with all of that in March, which has, started over the weekend, and we'll see how all of that goes. Yeah, until then, I don't know. I hope you had a good time. Let me know what you read. Let's talk in the comments about stuff. Let's know what you read, what you liked, what you plan to read, what you plan to do. I'd be interested in that. And yeah, I'm sorry for the lack of videos. I'll try to do better, and I'll try to get one out before I leave for Athens. So maybe you'll hear from me tomorrow. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, it would. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do really appreciate everyone watching, sticking with me while I'm just this desolate mess out here. It means a lot to me. So thank you for that. and I'll see you very soon. And until then, cheers.